Over 4,000 years ago, in the city of Uruk, lived a king whose story would echo through millennia. His name, Gilgamesh. He was two-thirds god, one-third man. Stronger, smarter, and braver than anyone alive. But even a hero has flaws, and Gilgamesh's greatest flaw was his arrogance. The gods, seeing Gilgamesh's tyranny over Uruk, created Enkidu, a wild man who lived among animals to challenge him. In the wilderness, Enkidu wrestled with lions, outran bears, and slept under the stars. He was a force of nature, untamed and free. One day, their paths crossed in the city. Gilgamesh, with his royal entourage, spotted Enkidu and sent word for him to come before the king. But when they met, it was not a battle that ensued, but an unexpected friendship. They wrestled, they laughed, and they became the unlikeliest of friends. Together, they went on adventures that would test their courage and their hearts. Their first great quest: defeating Humbaba, the terrifying guardian of the cedar forest. With a magical axe given to Gilgamesh by the gods, they ventured into the forest. Humbaba roared like a storm, but before him stood Gilgamesh, his wild friend by his side. After a fierce battle, Humbaba was slain, his head cut off, and the forest subdued. They returned to Uruk, showered with gold and praised as heroes. But their victory did not go unnoticed. The gods were watching, and their wrath was coming. When Gilgamesh and Enkidu returned from the cedar forest, they found a great feast in celebration of their victory. And there, more beautiful than any goddess, was Ishtar. She took notice of the mighty king and sent a messenger to him, asking for his hand in marriage. Gilgamesh, however, had heard tales of Ishtar's fickle heart and her many broken lovers. He rejected her offer, and enraged, the goddess turned to the heavens. There, she commanded the Bull of Heaven to punish him, and so the Bull of Heaven attacked Uruk, trampling the city walls, destroying all in its path. Gilgamesh fought bravely, but the bull was too strong, too wild. It was Enkidu who came up with a plan. While Gilgamesh distracted the beast, Enkidu snuck behind the bull and gave its hind legs a mighty kick. The bull reared, bellowing in pain and anger, but it was no match for the combined strength of the two friends. Finally, Gilgamesh struck the killing blow. The people of Uruk rejoiced, celebrating their king and his friend. But little did they know, fate had just dealt them a tragic hand. For Enkidu, while slaying the bull, had picked up its claws and hurled them at Gil. One of the sharp shards had pierced the hero's leg, and though it seemed fine at first, it soon grew infected. Days turned into weeks, and Enkidu's condition worsened. Gilgamesh, stricken with grief and fear, did everything he could for his friend, but there was nothing more to be done. Enkidu, the wild man of the wilderness, lay dying in the city he had helped to protect, and so Enkidu fell asleep, his body carried by 4 lions to the mountains where he belonged. Gilgamesh mourned the loss of his friend, and in his grief, he confronted the harsh truth of mortality. Heroes, gods, kings, everyone dies. Even he, the mighty Gilgamesh, would one day join the ancestors. Fearful and desperate, he embarked on a journey to find eternal life, journeying across scorching deserts and crashing waves, scaling sheer cliffs and crossing deep chasms. At last, he reached the sage Utnapishtim, the survivor of a great flood who was granted immortality by the gods. Gilgamesh pleaded with the sage, begging for the secret to eternal life. But Utnapishtim revealed that such knowledge was not meant for mortals. He told Gilgamesh to look around him, to appreciate the beauty of the world and the precious gift of life. He did not have the secret to immortality, but Gilgamesh had something even greater: the love and respect of his people. And so Gilgamesh returned to Uruk, no longer the arrogant young king, but a wise and humble ruler. He understood now that the measure of a life is not in escaping death, but in living well, building cities, planting gardens, making friends, planting trees, raising children, and leaving a legacy that inspires awe and wonder in those who hear his story. For thousands of years, the epic of Gilgamesh has echoed through the ages, reminding us that friendship and courage are essential, and that the greatest adventures are often within ourselves. Like, share, and subscribe for more epic stories from the dawn of civilization.